Today we're going to talk about arterial diseases, in particular the Buerger's disease, or more popularly known as the thromboangiitis obliterans. So, in one line, it is a segmental, progressive, occlusive, non atherosclerotic inflammatory disease affecting the small and medium sized vessels. So, atherosclerosis is considered as one of the most common occlusive arterial diseases. So, Buerger's disease or TAO or thromboangiitis obliterans, it is also a segmental, progressive, occlusive, non atherosclerotic inflammatory disease affecting the small and medium sized vessels. Commonly starts in the lower limb on one side, then affects the opposite side, and then gradually will progress to involve the upper limb. So, the etiological factor or the causative factor is smoking or heavy tobacco use. As you continue the use of tobacco, the disease also progresses. So, the pathogenesis in smoke, while smoking, the carbon monoxide and nicotinic acid will result in vasospasm. This is followed by intimal hyperplasia, which results in thrombosis, and eventually panarteritis occurs, and that results in obliteration of the vessel. So it involves the artery, and later on it involves the veins and the nerves as well. There will be features of ischemia in the limb. So smoking is the main reason for Buerger's disease. Now there is a classification. So type 1 and type 2, type 3, type 4 and type 5. So type 1 involves the upper limb, type 2 involves the leg and feet, type 3 involves the femoropopliteal segment, that means the thigh region, and type 4 involves the hip region or the iotoiliofemoral region. And type 5 is a generalized type. So it is seen in male smokers in the age group of 20 to 40 years as relatively young persons who have a heavy history of smoking. Initially, they will complain of intermittent claudication pain. Claudication pain is a type of pain which is absent at rest and is brought on by exertion or walking. And then again, depending on the grade, it may be relieved by continuous walking, or the person will be forced to rest because of the pain. And when he rests, the pain will be relieved. Now, depending on the level where the pain occurs, whether it's in the calf or the thigh or the hips or the buttocks, accordingly we can understand what level of arterial obstruction can be there. So here, initially the intermittent claudication pain will be felt in the foot and later the calves. Similarly, if it's in the upper limb, it will involve the hands initially and later on the arms. And this will eventually progress to a state where there is pain even at rest, which is different from claudication. That is known as rest pain. That is, even on rest itself, the person has pain in the foot or the hands. And this is then followed by ulceration and gangrene of the affected area. So most patients, about 70 to 80% individuals who have TAO, they present with the distal ischemic rest pain. That is pain in the toes of feet or in the fingers of the hands. Or they may present with ischemic ulcers on the toes, feet or fingers. Absent pulses are seen from distal to proximal in the limb depending on the extent and severity of the disease. Now, TAO or Buerger's disease can also present with Raynaud's phenomenon, which is a specific type of color change seen in the extremities. Now, this will be discussed along with Raynaud's disease in that topic. Now, when the person presents with acute limb ischemia, he will have symptoms like pain, the paresthesia or the prickling, needle prickling sensation in the affected area, that is the feet and the hands. Then there can be pallor, or that affected limb will be pale due to the vasospasm. Poikilothermia, that refers to the affected area being cold. There will be weakness or paralysis of the area, and eventually the pulses of the affected area also will be lost. So pain, paresthesia, pallor, cold extremities, paresis, and pulselessness. These are the various features seen in acute limb ischemia. So when the TAO reaches a severe state, the person will present with acute limb ischemia. So this is how a dry gangrene of the affected area looks. So if you look in these photos, you can see the smokers having a gangrenous patch on the fingertip. Now there are a number of other arterial diseases which can be similar to it. So one being Raynaud's disease itself, then you have scleroderma, the CREST syndrome, rheumatoid vasculitis, systemic lupus erythematosus, atherosclerosis is another occlusive arterial disease, diabetes mellitus. So these are all different forms, different diagnoses which can present similarly with either an ulcer or a gangrene or even claudication pain. So the investigation is arterial Doppler, and you can go ahead with the duplex scan to know the level of obstruction. Then, or you can also go for a transfemoral retrograde angiogram. Then baseline investigation will involve ultrasound of the abdomen and echocardiography. This is for ruling out all other causes because no patient comes saying that he has Buerger's disease. He will have an arterial disease. He may have a presenting complaint as either claudication pain or an ulcer or a gangrene, and we need to assess the patient in general. So, an ultrasound abdomen echo. To rule out diabetes, you can do a fasting blood sugar and a postprandial blood sugar. General vasculitic workup, ESR, CRP, anti-nuclear antibody profile, rheumatoid arthritis factor, etc. Now regarding the management, so we have medical management and surgical management. Majority or a good compliance is obtained with medical management, of which the first step is stopping the smoking. Then you can use drugs which improve the blood supply, vasodilators like nifedipine, pentoxifillin is another drug which improves the blood viscosity and thereby improves the blood supply. Low dose aspirin at 75 mg, clopidogrel, another antiplatelet drug, then silestazole 100 milligram, complamina retard or xanthan nicotinate, that was an earlier drug. Today, most of the patients can be managed effectively with a low dose aspirin, a clopidogrel, and silestazole. For pain, analgesics can be given. Now, regarding the limp, Buerger's position and Buerger's exercise can be taught to the patient, and so that the person can keep the limp in the most effective area where the pain is less. Similarly, he has to take care of his feet, wear proper footwear, heel raise, avoid unnecessary trauma, avoid extremes of cold and hot. Now, if the pain is still persistent, a chemical sympathectomy can be done. That is, a local anesthetic agent is injected paravertebrally in the L2 L4 segment to achieve vasodilatation by blocking the sympathetic chain. So thereby the blood supply improves and the pain relief is obtained. So that is about the medical management. Now a few words about surgery. Now general wound debridement, ulcer care, amputation for the gangrenous portion is done. Now there are some procedures which can be used to improve the blood supply or to revascularize the limb. So one is omentoplasty. Profundoplasty is done for a block in the profunda femoris artery. Similarly, as an alternative to chemical sympathectomy, even lumbar sympathectomy can be done as a surgical procedure. So these are some of the procedures that can be done. Essentially, the main treatment is stopping smoking and to improve the symptomatic profile with medical management. Thank you.